So welcome back to our JavaScript course. So in the last video we did create the dark mode. When we click on this, it's going to talk about the dark mode and light mode. So in this video we're going to start learning about JavaScript object. So when you say object are things like houses, cars, people, animals, or any other subject that you may know. For instance, now a car object can have properties like name, model, weight, the color. For instance, let's say for instance a car can be named maybe Honda, maybe Toyota, maybe Mercedes-Benz, for instance, and the car model maybe it can be 2025 or 2019 or 98, and the color might be maybe white, black, pink, depending on the type of color. And maybe a car object can have method like to start, to stop, for instance, or break, for instance. So now in a car object have the same method, but the method perform at different times. So we should note something. Object are variables too. Okay, I think we have when we're learning about the variables, we discuss about the object. So now, but the main difference is an object can contain many values. So now let's quickly create a car object and see how it works now. So inside our text editor, so let's go back to our text editor. So we are not going to work with the script.js, so we'll be working with the main.js. So it's going to be our sandbox for learning, whereas the script.js is going to be for the app script. Okay, and let's get rid of this. So now let's look at how to create an object, a car object. So let's use the constant. Since the value will not change, the name, let's say car is equals to. So this is an object, then you open your curly braces, then inside it, then you start writing the items and the value. So let's say for instance we're creating a car object. So maybe a car can have a type. Okay, so type, then you specify the value, let's say Honda. So now if you want to add another item, so you put comma, so you can have them on a straight line or you can go to a new line, so whatever method that you do prefer. So let's say now the model, let's say the guy is 2025, and let's say maybe the color item, maybe the car color is white, for instance. Okay, so basically this is an object. So let's try to do console.log and see. So console.log, so let's try to log the car object and see what we have. So Ctrl S to save. So let's go back to the browser and refresh to see. So now let's open our console. So Ctrl Shift I. Okay, so now let's refresh it. You see now we have the model that we have. We see we have the type Honda, the model 2025, and the color. Okay, basically that's how you are going to create an object. So let's see it. Let's say for instance we want to try to access the items in an object. So you have two methods. So let me show you how to do it. Okay, so let's say now for instance we want to access the item type inside the car object. So let's see how it's going to work here. So now let's say for instance now we have already console.log the car here. So let's say for instance if you want to access any item within the object, so after the name of the object, so you just write dot. For instance, this is the first method. So you see you have all the items within it. So let's say we want to console.log the type. So let's save it, Ctrl S. So let's go back to the browser and refresh. So now you see we have the type is printed as Honda. So this is the first method. So let me show you the second method. So instead of using the dot, for instance, so you can just do a bracket like this, then you specify the type. Okay, so Ctrl S to save it. So let's go back to the browser, and you still have Honda. So whatever method that you would prefer to use, so we'll just have it at work of your mind. If you prefer to use the first method, then do use it. If you prefer to use the second method, do use it. Okay, so that's object. So in the next video, I'm going to continue learning more about the object.